I would like to take you back to your first experience learning gamelan. Could you tell us the name of your teacher and who you were playing with?
Sure. She was called Talia Race, and she lived in Bradford-on-Avon, well, she still does live in Bradford-on-Avon, and she's quite an extraordinary woman. Her husband's a toy maker called Robert Race, and she just has a wonderful house with lots of floors, and the gamelan was in the loft of this house, so you didn't have to go up all these stairs to the gamelan. And I'm not quite sure why she had it. I know she'd been to Indonesia, and I think she just loved it. And with friends, they'd clubbed together and they bought a Slendro gamelan, so not the full set that you might see behind me now, but just half of the set in one tuning. And it filled her loft, and it was an amazing room. And she'd had some lessons on the gamelan herself, and she could teach kind of basic lanturans and ladrangs and things like that. And I think she'd wanted to find out a bit more, so she was really good in inviting people who had played gamelan in London who were playing here. So she invited Andy Channing and John Pawson, Isabel Carey and Pete to Bradford-on-Avon, and she used to run things like summer schools where she'd get them down, and with the group that we had there we'd learn another piece in a bit more detail. And then what was really good for me is when I started coming to London for the youth group, I could then take some material back down to the group there and you know, play the bonang parts that perhaps she wasn't sure of, and we could sort of work them out together and kind of develop more repertoire, which was really good fun. But then obviously half the year it would spend in Bradford-on-Avon and half the year it went to Swindon, so we'd have to wait a little bit longer for it to come back so we could start again. But in the meantime I'd be coming up to London and get some more material. So it was really nice for me, I guess, as a 12-year-old girl to be able to then sort of teach other people things that I'd learnt and pass on that knowledge as well. So that was really good for me, I think.
Who are they, the people that you play with?
They were just members of the community from Bradford-on-Avon, and some people would, again, get hooked and quite enjoy playing every time. Some people would move away, and so it was just kind of changing personnel. Obviously there weren't that many young people. There were a few who were maybe a year or two older than me, and then eventually they would move away to university, so people would come back. And then I think a few years ago, Talia stopped running the groups because some of the other people who owned the gamelan, I think they moved to Oman or somewhere like that, so they took the instruments. So, but now, because there's a gamelan in Bath, I know Talia goes and plays with the group in Bath now as well, and I think she's taken some of the people that used to go to the Bradford group to Bath with her as well. So they are still playing, and Talia is great, and she'll come up to events that I have here sometimes and join in and things like that.
So. What did really draw you to learn gamelan?
Okay, well there was a few things. I was a clarinetist. I am a clarinetist still, but I'd started playing the clarinet when I was 9 at school, and I loved it, and it was great. And I was having problems with the oral tests, you know, the listening exams that you do for music exams and things. And I think it was just a friend of my mum's had found out about Talia's gamelan, and she said, "Why don't you take Sophie along?" Because although it's completely different tuning and it's a completely different discipline, it's kind of a way of learning music without burying yourself in notation, so you get to train your ear and listen out for things a bit more. So I thought, okay, well, I'll give it a go. So we went to Talia's house, and as soon as I got up those stairs and saw the instruments, they looked so amazing. They weren't painted like the Southbank Gamelan is, but they were beautifully carved and beautifully sort of shiny wood and the shiny bronze pots and keys, and they just looked amazing. So I think visually, first of all, they looked stunning, and then just the sounds. I mean, you get the gongs, the deep resonant gong sounds that are really lovely and quite addictive, I think, to listen to as well. And then it was just, I think for me, it was just the way of playing music as a group. Not particularly knowing the people I was playing with very well at first, but just knowing to learn to listen to all the different parts and knowing straight away how all the different parts kind of fit together or how they should fit together, and then getting clues of what you need to listen for, and then kind of gradually unravelling that music. And I think to this day I'm still, you know, it doesn't get boring, because the more you learn about gamelan, the more you learn that, you know, the singing connects to the rabab connects to the gander, you can just unravel that skeleton melody and things like that. So just the different layers and the complexity of it.
They working together.
Yeah, first of all, it was the the visual, stunning aspect of the instruments themselves, but then it's kind of the group music making, I think, and it really helped my orchestral playing, because obviously I stuck with the clarinet as well, and I play the clarinet in a lot of orchestras and wind bands and things like that. But I would find myself, certainly the older I was getting and the more I'd done gamelan, I'd find myself kind of letting go of the music a bit, not sort of fastidiously counting bars rest in orchestras, but listening out for cues and what was going on instrumentally and what I should be listening out for. And that really helped my orchestral playing. I just enjoyed the whole music a bit more and thought of it as a whole sound rather than just my little part of the sound. So I think it was a really nice crossover between doing gamelan and doing the other sort of Western music forms that I was doing as well.